What's up, everybody? Welcome. I should probably coordinate my toes. What's up, Jody? Can't wait for this to start. How wonderful to watch live and chat with this group. Thank you for hanging out. Hello, everybody. Jody, Chip, Sherry's Hobby Farm. No television. Do not cut off. All right, there we go. Julie is here. Daniel Smith is here. Hannah's here. Hello, everyone. Hello, wave, yes, go. Okay, checking in. Ottawa, what's up? William Jackson, hello. Thank you. Just Jules. Go Chiefs. Go Chiefs. Go Chiefs. Hey, go Chiefs. Kim in Idaho. Well, hello. Hi, Scott. So does everyone know how this thing here works? Is it interesting? What's up, Denise? Jilly. Hello. JR. Oh, to the keep it real, though. William. All right, Brad. Yes. Jules, don't be rolling your eyes at the Kansas City Chiefs. Well, we could at least move to this. My Tennessee Lady Vols. I got to say, I didn't watch the whole game. It was too much of a blowout. Just too much. I can't. Stopping by for the fun. Divvy Don. What's up, Georgianne? Hey, so listen, so how this works is so interesting because, believe it or not, Minnesota could really get a first round pick. Oh, member for 14 months. First of all, thank you for that so much. 14, that's amazing. Thank you. And then, yay, Kansas Cowboys getting their butts kicked. I'm in Idaho, Kim. All right, yes, Kansas City needed that win. So yes, indeed. Yeah, UConn blowout. South Carolina blowout. Yeah. But still, we're still excited about this. So let me see if I hit play. I've been using this. Didn't start yet. I've been trying to get used to things without. I got to get rid of Spectrum at some point because I got Fubo with the ESPN app, and I got to get used to it. Invisible Man said, "I am not holding my breath because I think 2026 won't exist because these greedy women players won't accept terms from owners." Well, there's that too. There's that possibility, right? Julie, that would be terrible. Fever Girl in the house. Glad you're here. Other team need to play more than Lynx. Exactly. Obviously, the Dallas Wings has the greatest opportunity. Kim, Kansas just moved from Florida a month ago. Burr in Boise. Okay, here we go. All right, let me click the button. Hopefully this is ready to go on Fubo TV. This is only about a half hour, so they really get to this. It might take a half hour for the ESPN. There we go. Okay. So, just so you know, Dallas holds the best odds. Portland, Toronto, 6 or 7. Golden State 8, Mystics 9, Fever 10. So who's representing?
Coming off a career year, it's Maddie Seegers.
Maddie Seegers, they brought her back.
For the Seattle Storm, all-star forward, Gabby Williams.
Gabby Williams.
From the Chicago Sky, co-owner and operating chairman, Nadia Rawlinson.
Nadia Rawlinson last year was Angel.
Rookie
Kiki Iriafen.
For the Minnesota Lynx, we got Courtney Williams and Letitia Heidemann, a.k.a. the Stud Boy.
So they brought both of them. That's interesting.
President and head of WNBA League operations, Bethany Donovan.
All right.
Before we dive into the lottery, This has been a busy and exciting year in the WNBA.
Okay. They got a lot going on. Adrienne, thank you so much. I appreciate that. 999. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yes. Sleepy Mocha says, I've been out of it. Hey, Freedom, we missed you. They were asking for you last night. We did the live stream for the Iowa game. And they're like, where's Freedom? Everybody looks like Freedom kept his name. Everybody else's name was changed. It's on ESPN, Steph. Cool jacket. Thank you, Freedom. I've had this so long. This is a transformational time for the league, and we believe. Okay, so while she's talking, for those of you who don't know, Dallas Wings holds the best odds to land the first overall pick. They got 42% chance. The odds are based on the combined records of the last two seasons for the teams that missed the playoffs this year. And even though the Wings won the lottery last year, WNBA fans would much rather see the Wings win it again than see the team with the second best odds win the lottery this year. Why? Because the second best odds would be Minnesota. They finished with the best record. Imagine if they get that. They have 26.1% chance, Minnesota Lynx, because they received the first round pick from the Chicago Sky in a trade for a 2025 first round pick. That became Haley Van Lith, where she didn't really, play that much, I guess. Then Seattle Storm has the next best odds with 16.7. Washington Mystics, 9.7%. And the last is 5.5% from the Chicago Sky. Seattle has this pick because of the Sparks, while the Sky received this pick in a trade in 2024. Remember when Marina Mabrey went to the Connecticut Sun. So Maddie Siegrist was there last year when they won the first pick, and they sent her again. It will be interesting if Paige gets a first-round pick to play alongside her. All right, so that's it. Dallas has the best odds, and then you've got Minnesota, believe it or not, with the second best odds. Yeah. Freedom says, I may not recognize a few. Everyone's names are different. We were dealing with that last night. It was wild. And then Summer, she went on Google and found out how you could try to change your name back. So people started changing their name back, but it really wouldn't change it back. It wouldn't give them some of the other names, and it was adding some numbers at the end that they couldn't get rid of. It was wild. Okay. So here's the interesting thing. No matter who gets the first round pick, it's who would be the last year. Everybody felt like Paige Beckers would be that first round pick. This year, do we even know? Do we even know? I was watching TCU. Olivia Miles looks awfully good. Olivia Miles looks really good for TCU. Summer K59. So there's no obvious first round pick unless you think it's Lauren Betts at 6'7". That's what they're saying right now. The pick is not necessarily locked up, but I'm so glad everybody is here. My Tennessee with a blowout today. Robertson from Tennessee broke the record with 10 3-pointers today for Tennessee. 10. She went for a 30-piece with 32 points. Thank you, Sheila. Hey, Sheila. Missed you too, Jilly. She had 32 points. She was on fire. It was like she couldn't miss. She shot over 70% from three. That's number one from Tennessee. I can't say I watched the whole thing. I was watching it after I got home from church. And it was like a 50-point blowout, I think. Whew, these blowouts. Yes, Alwa, is that how you pronounce her name, from Spain? So Summer says, isn't there someone coming out? AZ Fudd. Summer, I believe AZ Fudd. Isn't AZ Fudd a senior? Sarah Strong is not. Sarah Strong is just a sophomore. Oh my goodness, which is scary. I believe she's a sophomore. Oh, and don't we have Flau'jae coming out too? We got Flau'jae coming out of LSU. Sarah Strong is a sophomore. AZ Fudd, I believe, from UConn. But it's just not a lock. Yeah, AZ is a senior. She had chosen to stay. Olivia Miles, Lauren Betts, Flau'jae. So it'll be interesting to see who wins this. Will it be Dallas again? If it's Minnesota, that's just not cool, I guess. It is what it is, though, right? Yep, AZ is a senior. Sarah's a sophomore. Sarah's ridiculously good, right? Yeah, Flau'jae. I think you did a good job there, Summer. Hannah Hidalgo is just a junior, I believe, Summer. Hannah's a junior. I'll double check that, but I'm almost certain. And then we've got Hannah Stokey, but she's not going to be anybody's. She's not going to be a first round pick. Hannah. Yes, Hannah is a junior. And then the other Hannah Stokey, I believe, is a senior now. No, Hannah Stokey is a junior also. Hannah Stokey is a junior. Thank you. Both Hannahs are juniors. Stokey and Hidalgo. Well, Olivia Miles, man, she can pass the basketball. Yeah, I believe that's true. My crew, I believe they have said that is the case. I think people suspected it, but they have said that. They said that last season. Oh, the Swords girl from Michigan that people said, someone said reminded of Caitlin. Is she a senior? I had never heard of her. Yeah, Stokey is she's a junior. Which makes sense because I remember she was a freshman playing with Caitlin. Yeah. So there you have it, right? There you have it. So how does the lottery work? Works like this. 14 lottery balls numbered 1 through 14 are mixed into a lottery machine. 14, right? 4 lottery balls are drawn to create a 4-number combination. One qualifying team holds that 4-number combination and will receive the number 1 pick. This process repeats to determine the number 2 pick. Okay? The number 3 pick will be awarded to the remaining draft lottery team with the worst cumulative record over the last 2 WNBA seasons. The number 4 pick will be awarded to the remaining draft lottery team with the next worst cumulative record over the last 2 WNBA seasons. The final remaining draft lottery team will receive the number 5 pick. That sounds like a whole lot of gobbledygook to me, but maybe you caught all of that. So once again, the Wings have the most assigned combinations because their cumulative record is 19-65 over the last 2 seasons. So they will have 420 out of 1,000 chances. So they're guaranteed at least the 3rd pick. They'll have 420 out of 1,000, most assigned combinations. As a result of a prior trade between Minnesota and Chicago, Chicago's 23-61 over the last 2 seasons. Now the Lynx possess the Sky's 1st-round pick and will have 261 chances out of 1,000 to win the top pick. So the Wings have 420 out of 1,000 chances. Minnesota, believe it or not, the best record in 2025 has 261 chances out of 1,000 to pick the 1st pick. Seattle, which owns the Los Angeles Sparks 1st-round pick, and the Sparks was 29-55 over 2 years, by virtue of a January 2024 trade, has the third most chances, 167 out of 1,000. And then the Mystics, 30 and 54 over the past 2 seasons, has 97 chances out of 1,000 to win the top pick. And Chicago, which owns the Connecticut Suns first round selection, has the 5th most chances at 55. So the top chance has 420 and the last chance 55 chances. 420 for the Wings, 261 for the Lynx, 167 for the Storm, 97 for the Mystics, and 55 for Chicago. Wow. So, I don't know if you caught all that, but that's the deal. Fever has the 10th pick, Julie. Yep. Sleepy Mocha says they should do it like baseball. You shouldn't be able to trade first round draft picks, which would, of course, mean Minnesota wouldn't be in that situation to have that. So the top 5 prospects, Pham, Betts, Miles, Fudd, and Johnson. So we were right. Well, you guys were right if you said Pham. I didn't say Pham because I didn't know. I saw her name out there, but yeah. So we're on it. We're on it. The top 5, according to Michael Vopel, the top 5. And so somebody's going to get those. And then you got to see whoever wins that. So they're explaining it. Hold up. Stokey is a senior. It's listing as a junior, but I guess I was counting on Google, and Google probably got it wrong. So I'll take take a look. Number 3, that's right.
3 picks, they were acquired via trade. The Lynx, they acquired Chicago's pick in a trade.
So
they also traded for Los Angeles' pick, and the Sky ultimately.
You're right. Yes, you guys are right. She's a senior. Google lied to me. You're right. Stokey is a senior, but she's certainly not going to be the first round pick. But thank you for that. Jody said the dinosaurs hold up the CBA should just go play somewhere else. Here comes Maddie.
Number 1 pick 2 years in a row or getting married. Like, how do we stack those 2? That's pretty close.
She looks cute. I like her outfit. Google be lying. That's right, Michael. That AI thing. I like the outfit, so I like the outfit, Maddie. Gabby, cute thing, but all those tattoos just kind of ruined it to me.
This is what she does. We'll see if you can do it tonight. Congratulations and best of luck tonight. All right, moving on.
Why didn't Chicago bring a player?
Starting with the Chicago Sky, with the co-owner and the
ESPN. Nadia is the Sky co-owner and operating chairman. Why didn't they bring a player?
We have our new practice facility that's opening in the spring. We're hosting the All-Star game in July, so summertime shy is the place to be.
Yeah, you're right, William. She's a senior. I stand corrected. It would be interesting if Indiana picked up Stokey. We talked about it last night. We don't think she'll be in the first round. Here's Kiki. I like the color, Kiki. It clashes with the hair, but I like the color.
The best woman in the league, and I have great teammates, great coaches, so I'm excited for next season. Well, if your suit is any indication, the future is bright for Washington. Thank you so much, Kiki. All right, and last but certainly not least,
and for whatever reason, they decided to bring both of them.
Courtney Williams and Tisha Heidemann.
But anyway, Courtney and Tisha Heidemann.
But I don't know how many y'all going to celebrate if you get to number 1 pick here.
Yeah, we outside our Cheryl's done.
And the rest of it
What did she say?
Best of luck. Congratulations to all of you for being in this position.
If Minnesota gets the first round pick, they better run home.
Of the top 5 picks. Again, here's what picks 6 to 15 look like. So without further ado, it is time for the
here we go.
WNBA Draft Lottery. Senior Vice President and Head of WNBA Lead Operations, Bethany Donovan.
They didn't bring out Kathy Engelbert.
And good luck to all 5 teams. The 5th pick.
If they were owned by Philadelphia. Depends on how you look at it. Here we go.
The Chicago Sky.
The Chicago Sky acquired the 2026 lottery pick from a trade with the Sun.
Picking 4 will be the Washington Mystics.
Ooh, so the Washington Mystics.
Yeah, no, I know why they put them together, the stud buds. I just don't care for it.
Seasons, of course, they took Kiki and Sonia Citron in 2025.
At number 3,
Okay.
it's the Seattle Storm.
The Seattle Storm will be picking 3rd overall, which means there are only 2 left.
Uh-oh.
We're seconds away from finding
5th
out.
pick, 4th pick, 3rd pick. We're close.
We'll pick 2nd.
We're down to 2 teams vying for the top picks. The number
We'll
2
fill you in,
goes
Colleen.
to
Woo!
Minnesota Lynx,
Minnesota Lynx got number 2. Wow.
which means the first pick in the 2026
Yep. It's Dallas again.
goes to the Dallas Wings.
The Dallas Wings, 2 years in a row. Well, I like the top of her outfit. Yeah, I said I liked her outfit, but that was when I only saw the top up. I don't really like that look, but let's see what she says.
Exciting. I mean, there's so many exciting things going around in Dallas. New coach, we're super excited with Jose. Practice facility, obviously a couple of
Yep,
topics left
the
in
Wings.
here, so we're just super excited to bring in another great prospect.
The good luck charm strikes again, Rebecca.
Setting up Paige Beckers.
Free agents coming in. Just curious, what will make a player really fit well within what you guys are trying to do?
Just somebody who wants to win. I think we have an exciting young group, and we really
Someone who wants to win. Everybody wants to win. Come on, Maddie.
So I'm excited just to bring somebody else in.
Look, the Texas girl in me is happy. Okay, what do you think the city of Dallas right now is doing right now, knowing that you have your odds in the favor?
I think they're cheering.
I don't know why Paige isn't. Why does the Chicago have an actual player?
There is something about the city of Dallas across leagues in basketball securing the number 1 pick here, Maddie. There's something in the air. Congratulations.
Colleen, they're picking who's going to pick first in the draft. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th in the draft in April. So this is the lottery to see who gets to pick, and that's based on the teams who did not make the playoffs and their records over the last 2 seasons. So this is going to be interesting, right? Because no one is a shoo-in for that number 1 spot. Last year, everybody knew it was going to be Paige, or everybody was fairly certain, 99.999% that it was going to be Paige. This year, if you're Dallas Wings, my basketball experts out there right now, if you are the Dallas Wings, you've got Paige, who had a horrible situation in her first season. Now they're going to have a new coach. I assume Enrique is going to still be there, but I don't know. With all the CBA stuff, we're assuming there's going to be a league, right? Who are you picking if you're the Dallas Wings? My crew says they're going to pick AZ to make sure Paige stays happy there. These teams better play. They better be thinking basketball. All this other stuff. You don't see this mess in any other league. Let's pick the NBA boyfriend. Let's just pick a basketball player, right? So Michael says you need a good center. Are you picking Olivia Miles? See, Olivia Miles with Paige would be sweet. What's up, Martha? We already know the other ones. No, I'm sorry. Either the 2 expansion teams, one of them will be 6th and one of them will be 7th. We don't know that. Portland, or what's the other one called? Portland Fire and the Tempo. And then I know Indiana's 10. Let me see if I can find exactly draft orders 2026. Who remembers the numbers? Okay, so here it is. Somebody put this up, Tankathon. So Dallas is first now, Minnesota is second, Seattle is third, Washington's fourth, Chicago is fifth. This says Toronto sixth, Portland seventh. I thought it could go either way, but I guess not. Portland is sixth, Toronto sixth, Portland is seven, Golden State is eight, Washington will pick again at 9, Indiana at 10, Washington will pick again at 11, Connecticut is 12, Atlanta's 13, Seattle is 14, Connecticut is 15. So according to Tankathon, this is what it's going to look like. Can't wait to see who Sandy B picks for Toronto. It's going to be interesting with the expansion and with the whoever goes into the expansion draft, right? Seattle will take Miles, but will Miles still be available? That's third. Is Miles still going to be available? So here's my question for you. Are you picking 6'7" Lauren Betts, or are you picking a good guard? Yeah, Sue, this is not the actual draft. It's the lottery. It's the lottery to determine the first 5 picks in April when you do the draft. And the first 5 picks are based on teams that did not make the playoffs this year. And then they take their records for the last 2 seasons, and that's how they decide their chances of how many chances they get to be that first round pick. So it's not the whole draft, it's the lottery draft, if that makes any sense. So some people are saying you need a center, a two guard combo. When the extension teams pick their teams. I don't know. Let me see if I can find that. When will the WNBA expansion draft take place? According to AI, known as Google, it says December 6th. Nope, that's an old one because that said 2024. When will the WNBA take place in 2026? It says the date has not been determined or announced, but it is likely to occur in December, is what I'm seeing. So I don't know. But let me put this up for those who did not see it. Let me share the screen so we can look at this order according to something I've never heard of before. And that is Tankathon. So AZ Flood at 5'11". Are they going to pick her? So this is what it says. Full 2026 WNBA draft order. Dallas first. Now we know that. Minnesota second, which is wild. Third, Seattle. Fourth, Washington. Fifth, Chicago. 6, Toronto. 7 is Portland. Golden State 8, Washington 9 again. So Washington has 1, 2, 3 first round picks. Indiana's 10, Washington 11, Connecticut 12, Atlanta 13, Seattle 14. So Seattle has 2 picks in the first round, and then Connecticut again, the 12 and the 15. Then you get into the second round. Indiana will then pick again at 25. That's going to be interesting. Then the third round, Dallas picks again here, and Indiana gets the 40th pick. So if I'm Dallas, am I looking for a 6'7" Lauren Betts? Am I looking for Olivia Miles? Am I looking for AZ Fudd? They've got good options. And it's still early. Season has barely started. Minnesota. Here's the interesting thing. This is what's interesting, Julie. This is what's interesting. Let me stop sharing this. What's interesting to me is that we have no idea what teams are going to look like with this CBA. Almost everybody is a free agent. Key free agents for Dallas: Arike, Lee Yuru, Myasia Hines-Allen, and Taisha Harris. Under contract, Seagrass, Beckers, Diamond Miller, Isaiah James, J.J. Quinterly. But they might not have Arike Gumbawale, which means they may need a guard like Olivia Miles. They may need they may need an AZ Fudd. So if I'm the WNBA, I'm not picking AZ Fudd along with Paige Beckers. It gets too weird. But they play together at UConn. Is it possible that we don't even have a season? Sleepy Mocha said, yeah, that's what makes this whole thing weird. So they're talking right now. Who? You don't know what teams are going to look like.
It's going to be very different from what we project after 3 years.
Under contract for Minnesota, Anastasia Kozu, is it? Key free agents. Oh my goodness. Nafisa Collier, Kayla McBride, Courtney Williams, Letitia Heidemann, Alana Smith, and Dejanay Carrington. Are they going to dismantle Minnesota? Is Indiana picking up Nafisa Collier? Expansion draft, JR said, also is going to mix these teams up. Everything is up in the air. It's wild. Jilly, like, we don't even know. We've got a week before we find out. Before we even find out if they're going to extend these negotiations. Summer says Minnesota will be signing all those girls. Has Indy even cut their roster down? How can they? Nobody knows. There's no CBA. Nobody knows what they're doing. Nobody's done anything. Link's entire roster's free agent, except for that one person whose name I couldn't even pronounce. I want people to pick up Megan Gustafson. Bring back Iowa. Indy has 3 signed players, A, B, C, C, and KK.
It's certainly an exciting time in women's basketball right now, and we're looking for a few things this week.
Oh, you think Howard is going to retire? Why would they re-sign Carrington? I think she was doing pretty well for them. I mean, they brought her in. She just happened to get injured. Defense. All but the ones under rookie contract are free agents. All teams will be scrambling. I will not be surprised, Summer, although if I'm the coach, if I am Cheryl Reeve, I want to do my best to keep my team together, but I don't know that's everyone. If I'm Cheryl Reeve, I want to keep Nafisa, pay her. I want to keep Kayla McBride. Wasn't Alana Smith the co-defensive player of the year? But I don't know if I'm Courtney Williams can be replaced. Letitia Heidemann can be replaced. I'm not so sure. Megan averaged 20 plus points when she plays 20 or more minutes. That's a good stat. I know Indiana is going to need a big. Howard isn't retiring, Just Jules said. I don't think she's retiring either. I don't know that she'll be on Indiana, but she's not. I don't think she's retiring. Summer agrees with you, Michael. So now they're showing AZ Fudd playing today. I don't know. We could sit here and speculate, but everything is speculation because we don't know what these teams are going to look like, and we don't even know if there's going to be a team or teams. Julie said, I need to prepare myself for a crazy ride with all the changes. It's going to be wild. So Mark Cruz said, Indiana will for sure have Caitlin, Timpson, Hull, Cunningham, Boston, and Mitchell. I don't know, but here's the thing. Last year, we knew how many players could be protected from the expansion draft. This year, we don't. We don't know if that's going to change because we've had this whole conversation a lot here on the Adrienne Ross Show about who would we protect. Because if you only get to protect, 6 players? Do you make sure Caitlin has a point guard or do you make sure you keep KK? And I don't know that we can come to an agreement on that. All those girls want to be there. Yep. Jody says it depends on what they expect to be paid. Now, Sophie's already told us. I was wrong when I said she used the term max contract. She did not. You guys definitely corrected me there, and I appreciate it. But she wants a bigger contract so she can be settled, so she can have a house, she can do all that. I don't think she wants to go anywhere. She's probably just playing the game. But who are you protecting if you can protect 6? Wasn't it 6 last year? Faye Bentley is busy with her acting career, so I think she likes where she's at. Yeah, I think the Valkyries really enjoyed where they were. No, I'm saying if we had to, for the expansion draft, we don't know how many they can protect. That's what I'm saying. We don't know. Last year was like 6 that we could protect. And obviously we did not protect Timmy. SCO man, 1959. We don't know. We definitely don't know. We know what the offer was, but we don't know what it's going to be. We don't know nothing. We don't know. Excuse my bad English. We know nothing. We know nothing. I thought KK was in, but even the players in contract still have to be they count in the protected players. So they take up a space is what I understand. So it's still, you would still have to name off like Caitlin, AB, Sophie, like you would still have to name them off, which takes up your numbers. Summer says the league is running at the money, and I think it's going to crush them. And they say it's not money at all, as much as it is the revenue share. And this is what I didn't know. Yeah, you're right, Drac. They do take up the space. This is what I didn't know. I thought revenue share worked like this. If I sell my jersey, then I get a share of what I sell for my jersey. But from what I'm hearing people say, it all goes into a whole pot and everybody shares the revenue. Is that right? Michael, she's not now. I think Indiana always intended to and if you look at the wording when they signed KK, and if you listen to KK as well, the whole goal was to develop her for the future, right? But no, I don't think, but I think if you're looking long term and you really watch her length, her ability to rebound, if you've got the room, you're going, she could be really instrumental in the future. But I don't know about now. I don't know if you protect her now. Mike, thank you so much for that. Appreciate that super chat. So what if the CB allows younger players in the draft? Oh my goodness, you just added a whole different dimension. Now, good question. I don't foresee that happening, and I'm not in favor of it happening. Drax says that's how it works currently for the revenue share, meaning everything goes in the same pot. I'm going to get back to that question about the younger players, Mike. Summer says, I'm talking about the expansion teams. They shouldn't be adding new teams, right? Oh, yeah. No, I agree. I totally agree. I think they're expanding too fast. I think they're expanding too fast because people are saying, why are you expanding? Take care of the players you already have. You're trying to fill houses now. Of course, the Valkyries ended up doing a good job with their expansion. Well, back to Mike's question, because I did a video about this before. The WNBA rule is that you have to be 22, right? You have to either finish college to go into the draft, or if you don't finish and you want to go into the draft, you have to be 22. I personally think that's a good rule. I'm not in favor of the women coming out of college early. And the reason for that is because they're making, well, number one, they're making more money in college, many of them, although I'm not a fan of the NIL either. I've explained that. But number two, if you look at the percentages, almost most of the players who get drafted don't make a team. They don't even make the team. They get drafted and they get cut. The percentage is really high. So then you came out of college. Not that I'm a huge fan of today's college system either, because it's an indoctrination center, but that's a whole different story. Okay. But still, now you've come out of college and you get drafted and you either ride the bitch or you get cut. Because will this new CBA expand the amount of players who can be on a team? They're asking for more players on a team. I don't know if they're asking for that in negotiations, but out of their mouths, with all the injuries and things, they want to be able to have more players on the team, which is why Summer's point is good one about not expanding. Why don't you allow more players on the roster so that you don't have to bring in an Ari and have people going and coming and all this stuff? There's a lot of work to be done. And unfortunately, we don't get to hear all the stuff being talked about in these negotiations. So that's the way rev share should work, but they're literally wanting to piggyback. I believe you're right. I believe you're absolutely right, Chris. And I believe that's why all of a sudden we're hearing Caitlin Clark's name. All of a sudden we're hearing how Kathy Engelbert insulted Caitlin Clark. And then how Caitlin brought in all this money. That was the next thing recently. She brought in all this money and she's making $76,000. So now everybody's going to benefit off of the revenue share from Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, or even Asia Wilson or whoever's jerseys, Kate Martin, whoever's jerseys were selling. I thought it was like, if they buy my jersey, then I get revenue share. But I guess it's all going into the pot. Yep, the Fever, my crew, the Fever, yeah, they sell more merch than anybody. It's making my head hurt, Chili said. Yep, you got a week before we find out. Thank you, Denise, for that reminder. Don't forget, hit that like button. Too many things to take into consideration. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Malonga, she's 19, so they can draft 19-year-olds only if they're foreign. That is correct. Only the foreign players can be drafted at 19 or under 22, less than 22, fewer years than 22. Michael says, in order for the league to grow, every team will need their own version of Paige, Angel, or Caitlin Clark. Yeah, Malonga has been playing pro for years. If you're a foreign player, you can do that. And Summer says, that's a good rule. The women don't last as long and need to prepare. I agree. It's a whole different story. And up until now, they weren't even making that much money. I can't stand the Eagles. God Design says, unfortunately, that's the way a lot of businesses do. They expand before taking care of their current employees. There are too many perks or incentives for them to operate that way. Yep. She seems to be into the bigger rosters, and that's why one of the reasons some people think there's some money going on down there that they're not telling people about. Why does an expansion team pick their players from players that didn't make the other teams or was cut from a team the year before? I guess because the belief is that you want it to be as competitive as possible. And the mindset is that if you didn't make a team, then you don't qualify to make it as competitive as possible. Now, what other people have been saying the WNBA needs, Michael, that would take care of those players who didn't make teams. Many people believe the WNBA needs a developmental league, like you get in the men's basketball. And if they had a developmental league, then those players would have a place to play and develop. So I don't know. WNBA got Walmart wages. The ladies need an education. Yeah. They need something. I don't know about, they need something. Indiana needs 9 extra spots just for all the guards they injure. Yeah. They need a bigger roster more than expanding teams. And Sherry, I agree. I used to say I was against it. I was like, keep the roster small, but I wasn't thinking about these injuries. I was thinking about holding up players for just to ride the bench. I'm like, why do you need these extra players to ride the bench? I wasn't thinking about players who could step in because the system that they have right now is ridiculous. Ari had to come in and play, and then she's got to leave for like 10 days. And then, then she can come back if nobody else picks her up. And I mean, it's a mess. Summer says it's the same reason these podcasters put Caitlin's picture on their thumbnail, whether they're talking about her or not. I guess you could call that good business. Ma says, I hope they don't lower the age. That ruined the men's college game. I don't even follow my team anymore because everyone leaves Duke as freshmen now. This is the thing. I was seeing some player today. She sounded like she was really good. I don't remember who she is. And they were naming the school she's played for. Or we can even think of Haley Van Lith. Of course, she has some other issues, emotional issues and stuff. I'm just not in favor of the portal. I'm not in favor of the portal other than extenuating circumstances, whatever they are. Haley Van Lith, her situation might have been extenuating circumstances. But for the most part, why don't you stay and follow your commitment and help build a program? It's harder to build programs now because players just leave. Having said that, though, people like Haley Van Lith, people like Malaysia Fulwiley, just not fitting in. Dawn Staley not playing her like she generally is not into guards anyway. And then look at Fulwiley right now under LSU. LSU has a record, right? Every game they played this season has been over 100 points. Fulwiley is coming into her own, and she knew that she could do better than she was doing in Dawn Staley's program. So, but I think she's an exception. Most of the time, I think people should stay put. Because there are people who were, people who were cut, people who they didn't bring in, I should say, so they could bring you in, and then you just get out of there. And now you chasing money, and that's where the NIL problem comes in for me as well. Because I think NIL, it creates a situation where someone goes, take like a Lindsay Gottlieb at USC, whom I felt needed to teach Juju, who's an incredible talent, but needed to teach her a little bit differently. I even did a video about when Juju got hurt. Sorry she got hurt, tore ACL. But I broke down the opportunity she had to release the ball, give the ball up prior to that injury. But she held on to the ball because that's what she does, right? She's trying to get bailed out with fouls, all this other stuff. And when you have this NIL stuff and all that, and you got the transfer portal, how do we know Juju Watkins can't, or her parents can't go to Coach Gottlieb and say, look, I don't want to see my daughter on the bench. If she's not playing as much as we want to see her play, if she's not playing the way we want to see her play, we're out of here. So now the coach has to adjust because she doesn't want to lose Juju Watkins, and those above the coach don't want her to lose Juju Watkins. So they cater, perhaps. This is all hypothetical, but I think it's certainly not beyond the realm of possibility. Exactly, God designed. The portal sets a precedent. If you're not happy, then move to wherever you want. No loyalty, no commitment. And these are people who are going to go out into the real world where they're going to find themselves in situations where they made a commitment, and they should stand by it, except for extenuating circumstances. My crew says, if these women cared about each other, they would fight for a developmental league this time and worry about higher revenue share the next CBA in 2 years. Well, a lot of these players who are doing the negotiating are getting up there. They're the old guard. I don't know. Did Ari get her master's degree finished after her injury? She did. Yep. Is it SCO man, South Carolina? I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'll say 1959. Adrienne, if you had to make a guess, will they get the CBA signed on time? I wish I could even guess. I would have thought that they would have been happy with the 1.1 million and the the minimum salary was like 400 and something thousand. They're going to have more than one player making 1.1 million. But I know they're playing the game too. I don't know. And the reason why I don't know is because I don't trust the negotiations. I think it's a conflict of interest. I think that there are people like Nafisa who has Unrivaled, and she probably feels betrayed by the people signing on Project B. But really, people are negotiating for other people who don't have the same options. I said this before, and I'm going to say this again. If Kathy Engelbert and all these people are in leadership are saying you're going to get more money, you're going to get revenue share, you're going to have more roster spot, whatever it is, but you cannot play in any other league. And you got Nafisa, who owns a league, at the negotiating table. You got Nneka Ogwumike, who's the president of the union, who just signed on like for $2 million with Project B. Are they negotiating in good faith? I can't believe that they can do that. How do you separate yourself from all this stuff? So I don't know. I'm inclined to think yes, but now with these other options, I think that changes things. Unfortunately, not everybody's going to benefit from those other options. Yeah, Hannah says, I think they should make them stay. Yeah. Or have a, but that's how I think. And I think it will come to, a Malaysia Fawili. It might be bad for her in that situation. But I think overall, the positives of staying outweigh the positives of leaving. Too many outside. Deborah says not 1.1 million. What do you mean? What do they even think they're worth? There you go. So Kat says the 1.1 million was not straight salary. It was a lot of bonuses. They hit a lot. Well, there's a lot we don't know, so I don't know. But the way they say, well, they're putting lipstick on a pig, I just feel like they're just so dismissive and so. And I think Jules was saying this yesterday when we were doing the Iowa game. I think that the fans are going to get fatigued. Like people weren't even filling the stadiums already. How much of this are people going to just, I don't know, maybe people are going to hang in there just because it's the drama of it? Yeah, I missed that too, Julie. You stay there. But I guess Fawili, for example, is trying to make sure that she gets good opportunities to showcase her skill. And that might be where the coaching situation comes in. Because why was she not given a chance that she should have gotten? Why not? So the coaches have to be held accountable too, right? My crew says, what do I sign up for 1.1 million to do what I love for 4 months, then vacation for 8 months? Too much greed and the wrong people negotiating. And then they go play other places. Right now we're talking about how many basketball leagues? I need to do a video on this. You got the WNBA possibly, and then you got Project B, and then you got Unrivaled. And then I totally forgot about Athletes Unlimited. Somebody reminded me about that last night. Does the public have an appetite for 4 leagues? Isn't the base $800K and $460K for incoming rookies? Either way, they don't deserve allegedly 35% of revenue share. I don't know. I want that job too. Ever seen Medina Okot? ESPN pick. I have not. I've not seen her. I think Clark will make a call to sign it, but only for 2 years. The WNBA is not negotiating in good faith. They should have hired an independent company to do it on their behalf. Who do you believe Project B is legit and a real threat? You've got Candace Parker backing it up. I forgot who the other big name is backing it up. They just signed Camila Cardoso as well. And right now, Project B is not supposed to conflict with the WNBA, although it's supposed to conflict with Unrivaled. But will it remain not a conflict for the WNBA? I think it's a threat, especially when you're paying big time money. No season will kill the league, Sleepy Mocha said. And I think people will still watch basketball. They'll just move over to the other league. I'm just saying, can all of them coexist? They're comparing themselves to NBA players. They think they're the same. I think and I hear comments out there. I think there are people who believe that there's money that's not being reported, and therefore that they are being taken advantage of. Yeah, Freedom says I can't even keep up with two, right? Marky G says if a player is hurt playing in another league, then they should be responsible for their own treatment. And I hope if they're negotiating for stuff, they're negotiating for health insurance, because right now the way it is you are out of season, you've got no insurance. So the players who got injured in Athletes Unlimited, you're on your own. Somebody was trying to collect money last year. Trying to collect money because they got injured and the WNBA doesn't pay for it. That I don't think is cool. Player fatigue is real. Yeah, my crew says I'm already fatigued. If there's no season, I'm probably done watching. Shriek, did they do the expansion draft? No. Tonight we watched the draft lottery. So the Wings will have the number 1 pick in April, assuming that happens. Then Minnesota, then Seattle, then who was 4th? Then Washington, and then Chicago. But the expansion draft, we don't even have a date yet. Probably be December. And you can't have it. You can't have you cannot have an expansion draft if you don't have your CBA, because you don't even know how many you can protect. You don't know who's still on what team. Like, you don't know nothing. We are so out there. I think this is the only thing that they could have done without this CBA being complete. That's the only thing they could have done, which is figure out who's picking when if you need them to. Yeah, Michael says, since the WNBA started, there have been plenty of women's basketball leagues started up. None of them made it except for WNBA. That's true, but there was no Caitlin Clark. There was no Paige Beckers. And so I think right now, like, this is why I said, I think I'm okay with you advocating for more money, whatever you got to do. But I thought that they should have waited this thing out a little bit. Caitlin had just gotten into the league. It was just starting to blow up more. Angel, no matter what you think about her, this whole rivalry, fake rivalry, because there ain't no rivalry. But anyway, this whole so-called rivalry with Caitlin and Angel, some people were tuning in just for the drama of it. I figured if you could just be patient, wait it out a little bit, and let it unfold. They didn't want to do that. They felt they had leverage. They felt they had a 3-on-3 unrivaled league where they could have ownership and all that. I guess they think they've got more leverage than I think they have. The investors in Project B, I know Candace Parker is one of them. I'm going to look it up. It says high-profile athletes like Candace Parker, Steve Young, Novak Djokovic, Sloane Stephens from the tennis world, as well as institutional investors such as Mangrove Capital, Quiet Capital, and Sequence Equity. The league also has a media partnership with Selah, an entertainment company owned by Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund. And it also has, oh yeah, Elena Beard. That's what I was trying to remember. Elena Beard as well. And there's some other people. Let me see. I'm just curious, like, did these same people invest in Unrivaled or not? Like, why'd they invest in this and not invest in there? So you've got Candace Parker, Elena Beard, Lauren Jackson, Novak Djokovic, and then you've got Sloane Stephens. Really interesting. Why did Candace Parker invest in that and not invest in her former colleagues' league? I find that interesting. Yeah, Michael, they survived due to the NBA. There's that too. Summer's great point. If I was Cardoso, I would sign with almost anything else. She's not getting done right in Chicago. Yeah, I think she's overrated, honestly. But I think part of that is because she isn't being done right. Teresa Weatherspoon didn't pay her any attention. The last coach that they had, I guess, Tyler Marsh, he tried to make her more. I'm just unimpressed with her. She's tall. I think she's slow, and I think she misses a whole lot of layups. But perhaps if she had had her first season under a coach who really was more invested in her, maybe things would be different. I don't know. They complain about too many games. So playing year round is going to help. Good question, guys. And Summer says WNBA shouldn't pay for injuries that happen outside of their league. My company wouldn't pay for my insurance if I work somewhere else. But what about this summer? What about these players who are in training outside? Like Cece didn't play in another league, but she's playing. She's working, she's working out, she's working with the trainer, she might be playing some pickup basketball, all that stuff. There's that also. Shouldn't that be covered? Are you just a 4-month employee or are you a year-round employee? You need to figure out their identity. But when I looked at Unrivaled and I saw how many injuries there were in Unrivaled, unlike anything we'd ever seen, I'm thinking if I'm the WNBA, I don't want my players playing in Unrivaled. So my crew, I saw an interview on Project B, and one of the guys being interviewed said that they would probably do a first offer up to $100 million to get Caitlin to join. Whew. Do you guys see Caitlin being willing to do that? That's a lot of money. Gino was one of the investors in Unrivaled. Yeah. 3-on-3 versus 5-on-5, Colleen. 5-on-5 for sure. I like the idea of the full court 3-on-3, but there's no substitute for 5-on-5. They will be moving around. It's going to be like tournament style, right? So they're going to be overseas in different countries. Am I right? All right, Julie. Love you. Have a great night. Everybody says sleep well. Sleep well, not good. Who said that? No one paired with AR comes out very, very well. Going overseas will help Camila. And then and Camila, of course, isn't she playing for China? Somebody said something about her playing for China. Maybe that's why they didn't send her to this lottery draft. All good points. All great points, Adrienne. Thank you. CC has a plan. Has a plan about the WNBA. Project B will be all over the place. Caitlin doesn't like the 3-on-3, but this is not your typical 3-on-3. But I got a feeling that Caitlin, you notice what she said when they asked her in her exit interview about what Nafisa Collier said? And she said Nafisa made some good points. And she very tactfully called out Kathy in her own way about current basketball, about, what she thought about what Kathy supposedly said about Caitlin not having any money if it weren't for her or whatever. I have a feeling, though, that Caitlin probably doesn't appreciate her name being thrown out there like it is. I don't know. She's she's willing to help the league. She wants the league to grow. But this selective, let's mention Caitlin stuff is kind of interesting to me. I haven't heard an update on Chit Chat other than yesterday when they said, well, some people said her upper body, the team said her hip. So my crew says, okay, here it is. Project B will play 7 2-week tournaments in 7 different countries, I believe. And Caitlin will turn down Project B. Yeah, man, I can't even imagine the pressure. But she doesn't mind saying no because she said no to Unrivaled. She's not so pressured. I think that she's gonna do something that she doesn't want to do. But if it's we need you or the league dies, I don't know. I just feel bad for Caitlin. It's like, this is what she wanted all her life. And then she gets here and now they decide that they want to mess everything up or make it better, depending on how you look at it. I agree, Adrienne. I don't think she likes her name being used like that. She's smart enough to see what they're doing. And she's very careful what she says. You don't get Caitlin slipping up like, oops, I didn't mean to say that. Now you get people twisting what she said, but that's a different story. Just Jules says hip bone bruise anywhere from 2 weeks to 2 months. Oh my goodness. Thank you for the update. Man, I really want to see these injuries. Pope in the house says Cece's not going to Unrivaled or Project B. Hannah says Cece's fine playing golf for her off season. Well, golf, and as much as she works out, I honestly, I said this before, and I honestly feel like this. I would prefer but I'm speaking as a Fever fan. I would have preferred they not play in Unrivaled. I would prefer that they would hire people and they stay together and play together. But of course, we don't know if they're all going to be together. But you know that Caitlin's going to be there. You know that AB's going to be there. I believe that you're going to have. I think Sophie wants to sign. Are we sure that the team wants Sophie there? I would think so. Lexi needs to be there, right? So I would prefer to see them working together, hire some people, and you guys work out together. You play against these other people rather than playing Unrivaled based on what I saw from Unrivaled last season. There were some fun moments. It was definitely fast-paced. Cece would probably have a blast, but in terms of knocking down shots, in the smaller court and all that. But the quote-unquote physicality was a concern. Iowa catching Indiana's injury reporting. It's just wild out there. CC wants Sophie. Indiana wants Sophie. Yeah. I think so. I mean, they said last year that they obviously took the core players' perspective. They said they didn't ask for permission, but they certainly took them into consideration. It's the same thing that I said about Christy Sides. If Caitlin wanted Christy Sides to stay, I think that she would have had that. Not 100% sure with Christy Sides, but yes, indeed. Big Doug, thank you so much. High five back at you. Appreciate that. Coach Jensen called Chit Chat's injury an upper body injury, and an upper body. But Iowa's statement was hip, so I'm confused. And the announcers also said upper body yesterday. Upper body injury and would be day to day. This was on the pregame radio show yesterday. Yeah, they were saying upper body for some reason, but then I think their site said hip. I don't know. Thank you again, Big Doug. Appreciate that. That game yesterday was a bit sloppy in some ways. Freedom says Sophie is staying. A bit sloppy in some ways. In some ways, it reminded me of a high school game, but it was awfully good in some. I keep saying awfully. Why am I using that? I never use that expression. Awfully good. That's an oxymoron. But it was rather good in some other ways. The way they looked for each other, the way they passed the basketball, I enjoyed that. But they missed so many shots. 30G says, looked like she fell on her side, shoulder, elbow, head. Well, I pray that she will be well. Yep. AB already signed. Yeah. AB signed. Lexi signed. Ari signed. KK is developmental, whatever that means. And Kelsey has signed. So they got a whole team right there. Wish they could be on that same team. So again, first round picks. I'm going to draw to a close here, but the draft order, we found out tonight, Dallas will, for the second year in a row. Dallas is modeling after Indiana. Indiana had AB and Kelsey and CC. Dallas will have the first round pick again. So, will Dallas make the playoffs? Will Dallas pick AZ Fudd, Olivia Miles, the fam? I need to look that person up. Not sure. From Spain. Lauren Betts for the height. Flage. I don't know. But if Enrique is not going to stay in Dallas, does Enrique want to play with Paige Beckers enough to hang around after such a tough time in Dallas? I don't know. And if she leaves, then you might want to bring in a guard and not bring in a Lauren Betts. I don't know. But Dallas has number 1, Minnesota number 2, Seattle number 3, Washington number 4, Chicago number 5. These are the players who didn't make the playoffs. Then you get Toronto at 6 and Portland at 7. For the Indiana Fever fans, first pick is 10, and that's the only pick in the first round. So, and Minnesota got the second pick. All right. Oh, got you there. Yeah, right, Pope? We were talking about that. Freedom was like, what's up with these names? That was Coach Jensen's exact wording. Well, she would know. So thank you. Just Jules says, but the statement said it was a hip bone bruise that could have her out 2 weeks or 2 months, and they would reevaluate in 2 weeks. What is going on? It's miscommunication. I read that developmental will be coming in for injured players. She hit her forehead on the floor. Other people said she did not hit her head. I don't know. Tres Leches will stay together. CC took them both to the pro-am. CC made that decision. Yeah, I did a video say keep them together. Yeah. Okay, so unrivaled developmental players will be the ones coming in for people who get injured. Okay. Lauren Betts and Paige. I don't know. I would want a guard, a strong guard. Enrique is a guard with great handles, but Enrique is looking to get her own. Olivia Miles can get her own, can pass the basketball. I was just watching the TCU game today. She would probably be really good with Paige. All I know, hip bone bruise hurts, Chip Sherry's Hobby Farm said. Jules, was it YouTubers? I think Iowa said it. No. I don't think Enrique will go to expansion. But I don't know. I don't know what any of this is going to look like. Yes, Hannah is a senior. I misspoke. I didn't misspeak. I just had it wrong. Yes, you're right. You're right. All right, Denise. Yes, it's going to be interesting. Talk to you soon. Yep. I'm hoping tomorrow, if I can. Tomorrow is Notre Dame, and I want to see Notre Dame. I have not seen. I don't think I've seen a live Notre Dame game this year. I want to see Hannah Hidalgo. But I'm hoping it's a good game. Some of them I'm looking at the teams and I'm like, oh my goodness, I cannot do a 60-point blowout, right? But I'm hoping tomorrow will be the live. Some of it will be spur of the moment. I don't know what's going on beyond tomorrow for me. Well, God willing. But so yeah, Denise, hopefully tomorrow. Stokey could be better than KK. I think so, but I don't know. Like I don't know. KK is just really developing. I think Stokey has a tremendous upside. KK has a lot more to learn. I think. I'm guessing we won't be having members on Thursdays. This Thursday. That's right. With Thanksgiving, probably not, unless we all want to get and do our members live with our turkey. That's right. Thanksgiving came fast. Pope says, I don't want to recap. I know. Bets is add to me. I would get someone who can work well with Paige. I mean, you can't teach height, so there's that. And I haven't seen her a whole lot, but what I saw, I was she's okay, but she's can't teach height, so there's that. But I would get a guard. I agree. I would get someone who could work well with her. And Jules says she did not hit her head. I was watching the game, and others have said the same. And Jules said there was the Iowa site. Okay, guys. EuroLeague. I have not, and I don't know if any of you have been watching, but I've not yet caught any of the games overseas that Fever Overseas is covering on X and was on the show, did the interview and gave us the info. Those hours are wild. I haven't seen any of them because I haven't seen much of anything. You guys know I've been out and about. We'll pick turkey out of our teeth while we're chatting, right? Looking in the mirror going like this. Oh, man. All right, everybody. So we know what the deal is there. Lottery is in the books. And other than that, there's nothing else that can be done because we don't know what's up. We got a week before we find out if this thing gets extended or if they get a deal done. It's going to be interesting. I have a feeling in the next day, we'll have yet another player we find out is playing for Project B. I wonder who it's going to be. All right. And just for you, just Jules, go Kansas City, go. Enjoy your week of thanks. Thank you, Adrienne, for logging on. It has been a minute, but I can catch you all. JRO to the keep it real, though. I'm glad you jumped on as well. Go KC, go KC, go KC, go. Yes. We have all the answers, Denise, all of them. Jules says Cowboys win. All right, everybody. So good hanging out with you as always. Appreciate you all so much. Thank you for every comment, every like. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't done it. Every super chat, members, moderators, all of you. Appreciate you. What's up with Kara? We haven't seen Kara. We miss you, Kara. What time is the live tomorrow? I think the game is 8 my time, which will be 9 Eastern. I think. I got to double check that. Good night, Martha. And I got to make sure I don't have anything planned at this point. So I think we're good for that. Things are subject to change, but right now I'm hoping to do that. Wait a minute. WNBA should add a clause when they sign the contract that Kathy needs to be gone. I think she's probably, well, I don't know. It's so hard to tell what's going on. Have a great one, everybody. Always fun. Good hanging out. Appreciate, love you guys. And I'll catch you next time. God willing. God bless you abundantly.